What's your media consumption pattern or habit? What's your process for consuming media on a daily basis?
The first thing I do is check Twitter.
I am addicted to Twitter.
Twitter, Facebook.
Believe it or not, Facebook.
I'm always reading Pulse on my phone.
I go to weird places like Jive, Yammer, Socialcast, and finally WebEx Social.
Fast Company, Mashable.
Tech Meme. I look at Tech Meme, and often that tells me what not to write about, because I know that everybody's writing about, predicting Apple's failure this month again, so I know not to write about that.
My favorite is CNN. I go to CNN.com several times a day.
I consume BBC News pretty regularly.
Going to my favorite RSS feeds.
I have at least 24 daily email feeds specific to the finance and other sectors that I track on my blog.
I use a service called news.me, and that uses my social graph to push an email newsletter every day with the top stories it thinks I should consume, and I go from there.
I have a media consumption addiction. I'm constantly running across stuff, usually on Twitter, sometimes through other platforms, and oftentimes I don't have the time to actually read it right then, so I typically save it using Instapaper.
The Next Draft is a fantastic email newsletter if you're not on it. Longreads.com if you're looking for longer format content. I've got Instapaper on my iPad and on my phone, so it feeds directly into there. I get all the long read content in there. I've got Reader on there, so I can access all of my RSS feeds. A lot of video comes through that way as well. Bunch of podcasts that I subscribe to in iTunes, so I can get the video when I'm commuting to work or I'm working out at the gym. All of that is a really easy way to get that pushed directly to me, and I've subscribed to things that I'm particularly interested in, so there's always more content there than I could ever possibly consume.
I was talking to an old manager of mine last night, and she said, gee, I got your thing on LinkedIn, and then you sent me an email, then you called me on the phone, then you sent me a text. How do we integrate this? If we're pushing it out, we want to syndicate it, right? But when it's coming in, how do we pull it all together, filter it, and just get what we need? I'm not sure. If somebody's got an answer, I'd like to know.